Drew, can you hear me? Oh, hey, oh, hang on. I can't hear you, but I might be able to hear you in a second here. There you go. Okay, radio check.
Yep, I got you.
Cool, awesome. Okay, so the question is, we're talking about picking up flight following in the air, and like what order or what you say at various times depending on how busy the frequency is and whatnot. My preference is, for example, Cherokee 83364, 3,200 climbing, 5 miles west of Fillmore, flight following to John Wayne. So who I am, altitude, where I'm at, request. There's a podcast, Opposing Bases, that says, based off of the input method of the system, that their preferred order is location, destination, type, altitude for that information. I think that's too much of a departure from the normal frequency to frequency pass off. And I would like to keep it as a pilot as uniform as possible. So is there enough time saving on your guys' end for giving that information in that kind of, to me, odd order?
FM, did you want to take that, or do you want me to? Well, I think it's different because, me and FM are in the control tower, so I don't...
November 515 Victor Bravo,
FM, you worked at...
center, turn right, direct
you had the... Was it stars when you were in the Traycon?
Yeah, stars.
So it's the same thing.
Yes.
So the way I input it into stars to get up squawk code is call sign, type aircraft, destination, and then I can put that into stars and it gives me a squawk code. So it might be different for a Traycon controller than it is for a tower controller, because I don't need to know route of flight. I just need to know how you want to get out of my airspace. So like southeastbound departure of Palomar is a Newport departure of 150. So it's Cessna, Cessna 12345, Cessna 172, Dove Street parking, southeastbound departure with Alpha. And then I'm inputting that into the STARS computer. So, but it's hard to say, right? How did you like it, FM, when people called you for flight following?
So working approach, it doesn't matter. STARS is so easy. People who say it has to be in a certain order are bold and crotchety and scared of change. Like literally, you call me up and all I have to do is put 83364 and hit enter. I'll get a beacon code for you, right? I don't need to put anything else in there. Just put a call sign in, enter, you get a beacon code. I give you that. After that, if you're going somewhere else, I can modify the thing to get you, flight following to wherever. If it's just local, I can modify it for the local tag. STARS is so easy. So I personally, as a controller, when I was working approach, the less you told me from the get-go, the happier I was. I'm sure you've been on frequency when you've heard somebody check in and try to say what you say, but it takes about 45 seconds. And I'm sitting there stabbing a pen into my throat because I wish you'd shut the fuck up. Pardon my language. But you know what I mean. So
yeah, they just give you their whole life story when you're like not ready or whatever.
Yeah. We do not. I say we. I would assume the majority of us don't like that.
Yeah. So
especially at John Wayne, because we're more than likely, if you're working CD, you might be working as the CIC as well. So you're on the phone or you're talking to another controller, and then somebody just starts talking on CD, and it's like, okay, I didn't get any of that.
Yeah.
So for sure, order doesn't matter. So if I gave you, like, if I'm transitioning and I've somehow reached you guys and you're setting up flight following to me, I'm not. Hang on one second. 28.1 Cherokee 83364. So this is like so meta on like many different levels. That's so funny. All right, let me check in with these coastal jackasses. SoCal approach. Good afternoon, Cherokee 83364, 5,500 just off of this coastal route inbound John Wayne.
Is always learning.
November 83364, SoCal approach. Proceed to Miles Square Park, see John Wayne altimeter 299er south.
All right, Miles Square Park. Thanks for that tournament, Cherokee 83364. All right, so immersion broken.
Miles Square Park.
Miles Square Park from Long Beach.
From the ocean, huh? Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Okay, so the order, out of everything, the order is probably the least important then.
Yeah, I think the most important is the
Class
call
Charlie
sign,
in
type
7.2
aircraft,
miles.
and
Yeah.
where you are, so I can radar identify you.
Okay. So unlike cold call, yeah, so what I was gonna say before I was so rudely interrupted is that if I'm not originating at John Wayne on the ground in the normal clearance delivery thing, it's, you know, I somehow reached local one and I'm like, hey,
Caution.
can you help me get flight
TFR.
flying to Fullerton or whatever? If I just say, you know, Cherokee 83364, 2000 over Dana Point, heading to Fullerton. That's all you need to know. And that order would be totally fine.
Yeah, you'd say, John Wayne Tower, Cherokee 3364 is, you know, approaching Dana Point like a transition westbound to Fullerton at 2,300.
And you're gonna tag that person up, obviously, right?
Yeah, like FM said, you're just typing in the numbers, so 83364, EA28, enter, and it gives us that 02 code. We give you that. We see you tag up on the radar based on where you told us where you were and the fact that you're being displayed on the radar screen. That's enough to properly radar identify you and to provide you Class Charlie services.
Okay. Now, if I just said call sign, you tag me up, I ident, or then you ask where the hell are you, that's fine too, and you can input all that stuff after the fact.
Yeah.
You can modify the tag after.
Okay. Yeah.
You can even, if you're going outside of the SoCal airspace, usually you need a NAS code. That's anything other than a 02 code, like a 1212.
2620 Cherokee 83364, thanks.
That transfers to the center. You can either even just hit one key, F9, fluent enter, and it'll provide you with that code. You don't even need to, you know, I mean, you guys don't know that, but we usually
F9,
do a
remember that,
Z-patch.
everybody. Click F9, and that'll send you to center.
Yeah.
The sad
But it's
thing
a
is, a
Z-patch
lot of
code.
controllers don't even know.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think
called a
that's
Z-patch.
why they have an issue with like piecemealing it, you know, because they think they need to get it all
November
one
8,
shot.
correction number 470.
Yeah, you really don't.
Long Beach Tower. Crossover has
But
Okay.
if you call me, if I'm working in the tower and you say, John Wayne Tower, check 83364 over Dana Point, I'm going to be like, okay, call me back in 10 miles.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
like, you're way, you know what I
Or
mean?
call
Like,
approach.
I don't want to, or call approach inbound. And you're
Yeah.
going to be like, well, I'm not inbound. And I'll
Cool.
be like, okay, now we're playing 20 questions.
Right, yeah. Cold Navel says he heard that controllers like it when pilots tell them what key to press. Yeah, just F9 me over to center.
Yeah. If it's a 02 code, be like, I don't need to, you know, you don't need to retype it into the stars.
John Wayne Tower, Cherokee 83364, information Zulu, inbound to Miles Square Park, full stop. First full Hawkerson.
Number 83364, John Wayne Tower, enter right base, runway 20 right, cleared with 2106.
Clear to land 20 right base, Cherokee 83364. So there you go. How often have you sent somebody from Long Beach to Miles Square for a right base for the big runway?
SoCal does that when they don't want to sequence them behind the slopers.
Would you give them right base though? If it was empty?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was empty, yeah.
Yeah. Just send them. You probably from here. You probably send them to the mall, right? Maybe proceed direct
I
to.
would just say proceed direct to numbers
Frequency
2
126.8.
Yeah. Okay.
You
Well,
guys
that
silly?
was
I'm still
super.
gonna send it.
That was super interesting. That felt weird, but the typical thing like, well, I've done it this way if no one's yelled at me.
126.8.
Oh,
Yeah, it
26A Cherokee 83364.
It really doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Everybody
on-
just gets set in their ways, and they think that that's the way.
at Cherokee 364 268. Sorry.
November 364, not a problem.
That was on 28.6. So dyslexic. There we
And
go.
we just
Yay.
cracked.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you guys for helping with that. But yeah, like I've done it this way and it's worked. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's right.
Right. Yeah.
But
That's what me and FM dealt with when we got to John Wayne for the first 10 years was, why do we do this? Well, that's the way we've always done it.
We've always
And
done
it,
it.
and it was the very wrong way.
the very wrong way. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That is pretty good. Cool. All right, guys, I'm gonna land this pig.
Hey, should we plug our pilot meeting on Monday, FM?
Oh yeah.
Pilot controller meeting through FISDO Wings. FM and I will be on doing a pilot controller briefing on Monday.
That's this Monday.
Yep, it's through the Wings program in FISDO.
Oh, cool.
If you're part of Wings, you should have gotten an email invite.
Yeah, I am. I may have missed it, and I am gonna be freaking out of town. Otherwise, I would have loved to
Cool.
do that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Cool.
and we'll
Bro.
mention that in the Discord too, just to.
November 86, Papa.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, I should
right,
do that,
clear to
yeah.
land.
It's,
Yeah.
It's virtual, right, Drew?
It is, yeah. It's on-
Oh, it is virtual. Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
I might be able to
500.
dial in for that.
Yeah, I'll send a link. I'll put it on the Discord.
Yeah. How many
Okay.
invites did they send out? Like 30,000?
Yeah, it was like 18, I think, went out. 18,000.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be
man.
cool. And it's you two that are doing it.
Me, FM, and AL, and then the supervisors, NP. So, yeah, there's going to be 4 of us, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, we need to get
Listen.
AL on the Discord badly.
Nice bounce.
It wasn't a bounce. I saved it because I have my sensitivity way down from
like
the
a bounce.
previous version of this, and they fixed it, and now I have no elevator authority. So I
He
almost,
was blaming the curves.
dude, I almost lawn darted it. I will not lie.
Climb from 3,500.
Yeah, we got to get AL into the server. That'd be super fun.
November
He's
3 Golf,
too married for that.
appropriate VFR.
Two married and two technologically
Roger, 3 Golf Whiskey.
challenged.
I don't know. He said he'd be down, but we just have to actually I think download the app for him on his phone.
Force him into it.
Yeah, just pin him down and yeah. Johnny Tower, Cherokee 83364, clear 20 right at Gulf southeast parking or wherever. Is that southeast? No, southwest parking.
West.
I meant southwest parking. Cherokee 364.
November 364, not a problem. Taxi parking via Bravo, monitor ground.
Parking via Bravo, monitor ground. Cherokee 83364. Thanks. See ya.
See you.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So 18,000 pilots. You got to plug the channel too, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's who was invited. So there'll probably be 10 pilots that actually
Yeah,
show up.
10. Well, we'll take 10 new Discord people. That's fine.
November 731
Nice. All right, guys. Well, thank you for all that info. That's awesome.
To the Hawthorne
Wow.
Airport.
You guys are the best.
Runway 24 obstacle departure.
Bye.
procedure to
Bye.
Paradise.